to this episode, you're probably like, WTF isn't FSBO. And I still am too. So let's get started. We've got Catherine here. Catherine, tell us what the friggity frack that is.
A FSBO is a for sale by owner.
Okay, and so obviously that means that a property is listed by the owner.
Correct.
So why would someone, what does that mean? Why is that a bad idea necessarily?
It is when an owner puts their property up for sale. And the reason why we advocate for ourselves as professionals is just bottom line. We make...
Okay, we need to start again. This isn't going well. You're going on the script again, so you can't look at this anymore. You've lost your privilege.
Yeah, you can't let me see it.
Yeah, you can't say one statement and then stop there. Okay.
But you know what, with this editing, I may have you stop it and then you may have to clip it together.
No. Okay. Hi, and thanks for tuning in. You probably saw today's episode title and thought WTF is an FSBO. And I just recently learned that can be pronounced as FSBO, so obviously I don't know anything. But we have Catherine, an expert. Tell us what a FSBO is.
A FSBO stands for sale by owner. It's a property that's been listed for sale by the owner.
Right, and so that is kind of a controversial idea. Why is it smarter for a potential home seller to list with an agent rather than themselves?
The bottom line, we will make the most money.
Right, because you guys have the most experience.
We have the most experience in all the aspects that the transaction will have to go through. Really, when somebody puts the property up for sale on their own,
Right.
it's because they want to save the commission. Sadly, people think realtors make a lot of money. And when they see 6%, 5%, 7%, whatever that amount is, it's a large amount, and it seems like just a lump sum that goes to someone that you don't know what they did with it, like what they did to earn it. However, statistically speaking, when you compare the number of sales or any particular sale sold by an owner to a similar property sold by an agent, the agent sold property always nets the most for the seller.
Interesting, okay. And so, obviously you said 6% like in commission.
Mm-hmm.
How does it work when using an agent? What do you think you should do?
The agent, you retain the agent to market your home. That
Right.
means put your home in front of the greatest pool of buyers, ideally qualified buyers. So that requires marketing, which includes photography, advertising, print, digital media. And then once we have enough buyers that are interested and we have offers, then the job goes into the negotiating for the seller side, because as the listing agent, we represent the seller's interest. Our job is to negotiate the bottom line for the seller.
And to benefit them in the best way possible.
Yes.
You're fighting for them. And so, as you said, obviously, agents would have a greater resources to market the property, and I know you uniquely have a very aggressive marketing tactic. So what is uniquely to you? I know you guys have like 3D tours. Tell us more about that.
Before anything even happens, we analyze what has been happening with its comparables, with the competition,
Right.
and we come up with a marketing plan. And we determine the type of photography that we're going to do, where it's going to be disseminated. We spend money up front creating a lot of marketing collateral. So yes, we do 3D tours, they're pricey. We then spend money to host these 3D tours and then distribute it.
Right. You have print marketing, things like that.
Print marketing, advertising, we invest in unseen technology like retargeting. We want that house to be in front of as many buyers as possible. We do direct mailing, just old-fashioned stamp in the mail to try to generate a buyer. And so once we identify the way we're going to spend our marketing dollars for this house, we deploy it, and then we monitor the results so that we can get an offer quickly. Ideally, the property is sold within the first 2 weeks. Now, let me backtrack a little. You don't pay, as the owner, you don't pay for any of this. That's the money that we're investing on the marketing out of our own pocket. When you sign a listing agreement, you agree to pay us a commission, which is always negotiable, there's no standard.
Right.
And what that agreement says is you will pay us when we sell the home. So while we're creating all of this marketing material, while we're spending time and money developing all of it, we're not getting paid.
It's at no cost to the seller.
None. It's what we're investing to get the property sold. And the properties, of course, do go into the multiple listing service. We're members of that. And
The MLS.
The MLS. And we do that just like everybody else, but we go above and beyond doing so.
Right.
We may have a buyer out of state. We want to be able to have them walk through the home.
And that's another thing that's unique. You have actual people who are looking to purchase a home that you can pair them with the seller, right?
Yes, so it's a benefit of having been doing this for a while and having a steady book of business. We do have a nice buyer database that we can present our listings to, absolutely.
And so that's actually good to hear. And what's also unique about hiring an agent is that the valuing of the home can be more accurate, more fine-tuned for the market. So let's talk about that. Valuing a home is extremely important.
Right, because we could overprice the home, and that could immediately cancel it out, not even present it in front of certain buyers.
Right.
Buyers tend to purchase in brackets. I'm gonna purchase between $250 and $300, $300 and $325. And if we were thinking, I'm gonna price this property at $415, even though the comps say it's probably worth $395, because you think, then they're gonna write me an offer and then they're gonna talk me down, that may not necessarily happen.
Right. And so let's talk about days on market. You don't want it being too long on the market. And that's also what's convenient about an agent. They oftentimes can get it sold fast.
Right. Valuing the property is incredibly important to get the most result in the shortest amount of time, because otherwise we would lose that window of opportunity.
Right.
A home that's been overpriced and it's going price reduction, becomes old. There's inventory and you see the fresh inventory, it's like old baked goods. Nobody's gonna look at it.
Yeah, you don't want the day old cupcake, you want the fresh one.
Right, and in that age on market, like sadly with anything, it stigmatizes the property. There's a reason why that house hasn't sold. Something's wrong with it.
Right.
Or that seller's not realistic. So buyers make assumptions based on that. We want, again, to sell it quickly and well priced in the shortest amount of time. That's why we take our, again, time before we even put it anywhere.
Right, and so underpricing a home is basically even worse than overpricing.
Right, so you'll hear somebody, I put my house on the market myself, I didn't pay a commission and I sold it in 2 days. Okay, great, but did you leave money on the table? Did you really price it well? It's our job to price the property accurately so that we earn our living and so that you get the most dollar for your home. Underpricing could be equally hurtful if you're just giving somebody 10 grand of equity that you didn't need to.
Right, and that's actually good to hear. A realtor isn't looking to just sell your home. They also have something to gain from giving you the best price on the home.
Realtors only get paid at closing. So if we don't perform, we've lost money in the transaction.
Yeah, so they're in no way trying to swindle you or anything. They
want,
especially you. I know you fight for every single deal, so that's definitely unique. And yeah, it's just beneficial because the pricing of a home is extremely important because it can make or break the deal.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And so let's talk about the internet. A lot of people think, I can just post something online and sell that house easily. Is that true or no?
One would think. The truth is, we are social beings. We're negotiating with individuals. We're talking about the market. No, it's not as easy as putting it on the internet and it gets sold. It requires a little bit more marketing and understanding of the customer and the temperature at any given time.
Because the internet is also extremely saturated with homes, so it's definitely about making your home stand out, because we are how many people live in this valley? 2-3 million almost?
Right.
there's a bunch of homes here, so you need to make yours stand out, and an agent has those resources.
First impressions matter, yes.
Right, okay, so let's talk about valuing a house. Is that difficult? Can you do it online, or what does that really entail? Why would you need an agent to value the home if you could just Google what other houses are going for?
Because when you Google or when you see like a Zillow estimate or an AVM that's been generated by some sort of algorithm, automatic valuation model.
Right.
Sorry, those are computer generated numbers. It's based on an algorithm. And the thing is, when something's sold, you don't know if it was something sold between family members, or between entities, or if it was an arm's length transaction, if it was a short sale, if it was a foreclosure, if there was some sort of duress, or whether there was some sort of contribution. So for example, you may pay $550 for a property where most of them are selling for $530, but it's because the seller helped you with $20,000 in assistance or repairs or whatever. So there's a little bit more nuance that could help us adequately price that property.
And essentially, to sell a house yourself, you have a lot to do. You have to stage, you have to market, you have to negotiate. It's a lot. So just going with an agent seems to be the simpler solution. And obviously, you can interview agents. You don't need to go with the first person you see.
Absolutely
you can,
not. Yeah, like with anything, interview 2-3 individuals, check out their reviews, speak to their past customers, check out their volume and transaction. There's the right fit for someone. Negotiating tactic, the type of marketing that they do. You should interview. Absolutely.
Yeah. And this is all not to say that selling a home by yourself isn't possible. It's just make it easier on yourself. Use an agent. I mean, they benefit from helping you. So there are no really necessarily any cons. You should definitely vet them and, do your research, but it's just a simple solution.
Absolutely.
Well, that is all the tea we have today on FSBOs, and I hope you're not like WTF anymore and you're just like, OMG, yay, for listing with an agent. So thank you, Catherine.